Welcome back to Put You On. My name is Michael. I'm here with my dad.
Hey everyone, it's Mike.
Today we're doing part 2 of Speak Now, Taylor's version. Thank you guys for the support on the first one. As always, the Taylor Swift fans, Swifties, showed a lot of support in the premiere and on the video. Everybody, as you said, wanted part 2. wasn't really a debate. So the last track that we heard, well, if this is your first time seeing us, we did a part 1. So this is the second half. So this is not the beginning of the album.
Yeah.
So if you want to go back, you can go watch our last video and then come back to this one.
I guess it was kind of amazing for both of us, I think, to see how many countries that were actually also viewing it. And, we were getting, long comments and descriptions from everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think if we know nothing else, we know that, Dear John is John Mayer.
Yes.
And 32 was
for
about Kanye West.
Yeah.
That was made abundantly
I think those were the
clear.
main.
Yes.
And I guess I said that the vault tracks were new tracks,
That
which
the vault tracks were new, but they're not.
technically not. They're just
Right.
unreleased.
Right. Yes, we're very clear on what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Not watch the originals, watch the Taylor version so that the skeevy guy doesn't get his money.
So we really enjoyed the first half.
Yeah, it really was. And some of your comments that just, from as a personal standpoint, as a father and a dad, some of the comments you shared were just, and you guys can see them too. You can see all the comments. It's just overwhelming how and surprising how deep music, her music in particular, touched you at a certain time in your life, or even later on, finding her after all the popularity.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thank you for 20,000 subscribers, which we just surpassed.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Just over a year, right, Mike?
Yeah, a little over a year ago we started, so it's cool to see that there's still people interested in seeing what we have to say. So yeah, thanks for 20K. Excited to keep growing that. Last one we did was Innocent, which was track 11. So the next track is track 12, and it's called Haunted.
Whoa. Little like the Cranberries,
Yeah.
right?
You and I walk a fragile line. I have known it all this time, but I never thought I'd live to see it break. It's getting dark and it's all so quiet, and I can't trust anything now. And it's coming over you like it's all a big mistake. Come on, don't leave me like this. I thought I had you figured out. Something's gone terribly wrong. You're all I wanted. Come on, don't leave me like this. I thought I had you figured out. Can't breathe whenever you're gone. Can't turn back. Now I'm haunted.
Nice mix of like electric guitar and symphony.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of rocky, little rockish, but still velvety soft.
You walk away from everything we had, but I still mean every word I said. I know. I just know. You and I walk a fragile line. I have known it all this time. Never ever thought I'd see it break. Never thought I'd see it.
I felt very rock.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like
like
heavy.
she picked up where she left off.
Yeah.
I mean, I still can't. You know how like when we watch sports and we talk about, oh, he's 19, he's 20, he's 21, and he's just, and look at him, he's like,
Yeah, just doing
or
insane
her.
things.
There's just, like how could you be this musically inclined
Yeah.
with your
That's a
lyrics,
good point.
your songwriting, and your playing,
And the versatility in all of it.
in all of
Yeah.
the hurt, the pain, the joy, the sorrows, the happiness. It's number one. I mean, proof that women mature faster than men. I
Yeah.
mean, at 19,
Yeah, that's crazy.
not even these thoughts.
It
were
wasn't
in
grabbing me right away, that track, like some of the other ones did. But I feel like halfway through, the melody and the everything started to kind
Yeah.
of make me
her voice.
catch me a little more.
Her voice and the lyrics carried it.
Yeah.
But the music was really good.
Yeah. I feel like there was a blend of things happening. So I was kind of
Right.
trying to like,
It didn't grow though. It stuck with what it was.
I was just trying to analyze kind of everything I was hearing. I feel like I was,
Yeah.
but
It
the
didn't-
vocals at the end were,
It didn't go a different direction. Like it kept the electric guitar symphonic sound throughout.
Yeah. This one's called Last Kiss, track 13. I wonder if it'll stay with how the first half kept going up, down, up, down. Remember, it would be
Good
like
point.
intense or poppy and then slow. And
Good
then,
point. Yeah.
So let's see. And it's down. That's
Called it.
it's cool drums.
Like a little reverb.
Yeah,
to
they're
it.
like reversed.
I still remember the look on your face, lit through the darkness at 1:58. The words that you whispered for just us to know. You told me you loved me, so why did you go away? I do recall now the smell of the rain, fresh on the pavement. I ran off the plane that July 9th. The beat of your heart, it jumps through your shirt. I can still feel your arms, but now I'll go sit on the floor wearing your clothes. I never thought we'd ever last kiss. I never imagined we'd end like this. I love how you walk with your hands in your pockets, how you'd kiss me when I was in the middle of saying something. There's not a day I don't miss those rude interruptions. And I'll go sit on the floor wearing your clothes. All that I know is I don't know. So I'll watch your life in pictures like I used to watch you sleep. And I feel you forget me like I used to feel you breathe. Just like our last kiss. Forever the name on my lips. Forever the name on my lips. Just like our last.
I mean, the pace of that song was perfect for
Yeah.
the emotion.
I feel like it's put me in slow motion.
Yeah, because
It's like,
she's honestly giving you time to contemplate not just her story, but your own story. Like just evoke whatever
yeah.
memory or emotion you could have about the deepest kind of love.
Yeah.
And just verbalize it so well.
Yeah.
The pace was just like the way she delivered and paced it, and you could think of any song, this is our last kiss. It could have been up tempo.
Oh yeah.
But she just, I mean, the fact that she knows how to, right? The one before it, electric guitar.
Yep.
I'm coming at you. Yeah. And this one right back to, possibly the best love she's ever had.
Yeah, it was like a meditation on her relationship. This is called Long Live, track 14.
I said, remember this moment in the back of my mind.
Our voice is so clear.
The time we stood with our shaking hands, the crowds in stands went wild.
Little reverb too.
We were the kings and the queens. Long live the walls we crashed through. How the kingdom lights shine just for me and you. I was screaming, long live all the magic we made, and bring on all the pretenders. One day we will be remembered. I said, remember this feeling. But if God forbid fate should step in and force us into a goodbye, if you have children someday, when they point to the pictures, please tell them my name. Fighting dragons with you, and long, long live that look on your face, and bring on all the pretenders. One day we will be remembered.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that.
Don't hate me, guys, but
It was a little repetitive.
okay, it felt I felt like I was watching a rom-com. Any of those Girl Next Door, outcast comes through in the end and gets voted through as the prom queen with the king who did,
That's exactly what I was
secretly she admired him. And musically I thought it was good, like you said, the breaks and the surges.
picturing. Yeah, a lot
and,
of builds.
heavy guitar chords. It was
Yeah, it felt very like 80s movie fist pump,
right.
like Breakfast Club. Like you could see the Taylor freeze
Torn
frame.
jeans, yeah, and the backwards cap,
Track 15 is called Hours.
Elevator buttons and morning air. Stranger silence makes me wanna take the stairs. If you were here, we'd laugh about their vacant stares. But right now, my time is theirs. Seems like there's always someone who disapproves. So don't you worry your pretty little mind. People throw rocks with things that shine, and life makes love look hard. The stakes are high, the water's rough, but this love is ours. You never know what people have up their sleeves. Ghosts from your past gonna jump out at me, lurking in the shadows with their lip gloss smiles, but I don't care.
This one is super twang.
It's not
The
theirs
guitars
to
exceptional,
speculate
the acoustic.
if it's
it almost sounds like that brush, you know, this brush on the drum.
I'll fight their doubt and give you faith. They can't take what's ours. They can't take what's ours. The stakes were high, the waters were rough, but this love is ours.
Did you pick up a male?
Yeah, well, there was a little bit of
Medley?
male backing vocals on which one was that?
I don't think it was this album.
On Last Kiss.
Oh, was
There
it?
was 2 tracks ago. Yeah, very faintly on the chorus.
This one was a little more noticeable to me.
Yeah, just on the chorus, there's a little bit of a backing vocal. Probably just from someone that, well, I don't know. It could be in addition, someone that she's worked with in recent years, or
Just a
That's just
studio
who-
musician. Yeah.
yeah, or just a studio musician.
I felt the way the song broke down for me was the way I heard it in the beginning. The first verse felt like she was she said elevator buttons and the morning. It felt like she was going to a meeting with the record people, and she said, "Oh, like if you were in this elevator, we'd be goofing on how serious they are, and I'd rather take the stairs, but this is really important." And then telling him, don't worry. And then I felt the next one was him telling her, "Don't worry," because of all the girls and the past, and hiding in the bushes with lip gloss.
Yep.
But in both instances, they were both proclaiming, the happiness of just being,
Yeah.
you know,
And she was saying, don't worry about what,
her dad. And
people that I know will think of you or your
yeah,
appearance.
yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. That was
No.
catchy. Mm-hmm. So I think this would be the last track coming up from the original album, because
Before
then
we get to
it's
the
the vault
vaults?
tracks. Yeah.
Okay.
So the closing track is called Superman.
Nice beat.
Tall, dark, and Superman. He puts papers in his briefcase and drives away to save the world or go to work. It's the same thing to me. I always forget to tell you I love you. I love you forever. I watch Superman fly away. You've got a busy day today. Go save the world. I'll be around. And I watch Superman fly away. Something in his deep brown eyes has me saying he's not all bad like his reputation, and I can't hear one single word they say. And you'll leave, got places to be, and I'll be okay. I'm left struck and looking out the window. Don't forget where I'll be. Right here wishing the flowers were from you. Wishing the card was from you. Wishing the card was from you. 'Cause I've loved you from the very first day I watched Superman fly away. You've got a busy day today when you come back down.
Sir.
Yeah, another
Kind of like a Disney Channel.
yeah. It felt again that feeling is so unavoidable with this one, whatever that other one was, of the like just stereotypical like TV show or movie, or like
Yeah.
like
It's funny because this and the previous one, and I'd say maybe the first 2 tracks that we heard, where I
That's what we
could
thought.
really listen to this whole album and say, it's a 19-year-old girl,
Yeah,
hasn't lived
it's
a
not
lot
bad.
of life, hasn't been in the spotlight of life. You know, she's very doughy-eyed. You know, this one could be almost like admiring an older, you know, like she talked about a briefcase and, you know, flying off into the sky and brown eyes and handsome man. Maybe I haven't told you I love you. I have a secret crush, that kind of stuff. It feels, it's still amazing that she could be, you know, this wholesome and down to earth in some songs and feel very almost like, you know, hearing a band performing in a, you know, in a town festival for the 4th of July. You know what I mean? Like just something in a band shell and just, you know, and at the end you just like kind of politely clap and look at her and say, oh yeah, she's a young girl. But, you know, and then get blown away completely.
Yeah, but then have some like unbelievable tracks.
Yeah, where
Dear
she's
John
just so
Never Grow Up.
able to put feel, you know, these kind of feelings you kind of expect from, and I'm not saying 19 is 13, you know, but
right, you're still a young,
as in terms of an
very
artist,
young adult.
In terms of artistry.
Yeah, but again, it's not the end of this album, so
right,
that would have been the end of that album. But, so now we're going into the vault, which are like the unreleased. It's called Electric Touch, and it's featuring Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy was really popular.
Hey now, you're an all-star.
No, that's a Smash Mouth.
Fall Out Boy was.
You probably know a couple songs from them, but they were more popular, I'd say, like
give me
a little while back.
Clue. You have any clues?
Yeah, I could pull up like some
Fall Out Boy
popular ones. This was 2007, so not far off from this album.
Okay. Like when I was in the gym, these songs were, you know, get me going on the treadmill or something.
Yeah.
At the Planet Fitness.
This was
Playing
like
in the background.
Yeah. I mean, they still had some really popular songs like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, but they kind of fit into those like rock pop
Yeah, I get
styles. So we'll see how this one sounds.
Just breathe, just relax, it'll be okay. Just an hour till your car's in the driveway. Just the first time ever hanging out with you tonight. I've got my money on things going badly. All I know is this could either break my heart or bring it back to life. Got a feeling your electric touch could fill this ghost town up with light. And I want you now, wanna need you forever.
I've gotten used to no one calling my phone. I've grown accustomed to sleeping alone. Still I know that all it takes is to get it right just one time.
The song has a very weird mix, doesn't it? Like the music seems like flat, doesn't it? Is it just me?
Monotone, like
Yeah, like it sounds like flat. Like none of the instruments feel separated. It feels like mushed together, right? Like the drums and guitar feel like
you feel like there's this hum going through the whole thing, right?
like I don't know what it is about the mix. It's like
Yeah, I mean,
it feels like nothing is mixed. Like everything's like
either that or there was a competition between the Fall Out Boy piece and her piece, and
it felt like a weird mush of
it just
stuff.
wasn't. It didn't do anything for me. That one at all.
And I'm thinking because it's unreleased tracks. Like sometimes people just put out tracks like as they were, like as a bonus. They'll just. It happens a lot. Like artists will put out on a deluxe, like
Well,
a
yeah,
track
bonus
that was,
tracks,
like, not
right? It got cut
finished.
from the album. you know.
Or I'm saying like it might not have been a complete
That too.
session. Maybe
That too.
They threw some things to finish it up. But
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about the mixing. It sounded so off to me.
Yeah, it felt like there was it got to the point. I don't think that happened early, but then at some point it did switch, and it became like for me it sounded like a hum, almost like everything was just.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying I think the reason why that happens is because however it's mixed. Like if all the instruments are mixed at the same exact level,
It was like compressed.
it just everything starts to bleed.
Yeah, it felt like a
over
buzz.
each other.
Yeah,
The next one is called When Emma Falls in Love.
kind of a long title.
Yeah, a little bit.
I got a feeling.
Piano. Ooh, not a lot of
go
piano
wrong.
on this album.
No, and
Emma
you can't.
falls in love, she paces the floor, closes the blinds and locks the door.
Yeah, I got a feeling too. I feel like you just like Elton John style, like you
Freddie
can't go wrong with that shit.
Mercury, something where I
With
sat
her
down.
songwriting,
Right.
yeah, I agree.
Guys, take a break.
I mean,
got
we're
this
speaking
one.
soon.
Right. A little too soon, but it
We'll see.
has
Yeah, I just
a feeling.
Emma falls in love, she paces the floor, closes the blinds and locks the door. When Emma falls in love, she calls up her mom, jokes about the ways that this one could go wrong. She waits and takes her time, 'cause little Miss Sunshine always thinks it's gonna rain. 'Cause when Emma falls in love, she's in it for keeps. She won't walk away unless she knows she absolutely has to leave. And she's the kind of book that you can't put down. Like if Cleopatra grew up in a small town.
It sounds self-descriptive.
I was gonna say it's
You know.
it seems like it's about her.
When Taylor falls in love, and just replace
Yeah.
Taylor with Emma.
Maybe she just wanted to do it in
Well,
a
she's so
This style, yeah. like third person.
when she's in LA. Now he'll be her shelter when it rains. Little does he know his whole world's about to change. She's the kind of book that you can't put down. Like if Cleopatra grew up in a small town. Yeah, between me and you, sometimes I wish I was her.
See, towards the end,
A little tricky, right?
yeah. See, as soon as we said that, now I started to feel like it was like an not an alter ego, but a version of herself that she was imagining that she wanted to be.
Or
in
maybe
certain
not.
situations.
Or maybe not. Maybe she's, I mean, I've said the way she writes music and the way she describes the breakup stuff, you'd be lucky. You'd be lucky if you were the guy that gets Taylor Swift. I mean, let's just put it that way. Regardless of
Like she was
fame
saying,
and fortune, right?
Cleopatra.
Yeah, right. Whatever, if you're lucky enough to fall in love with a woman like that, and it works, you're going to be a very, she's happy, you're happy. It's going to be magic. But the part where she goes into the room, closes the blinds, and is alone with herself. Yeah, I can, pacing the floor. I can imagine her doing that.
Yeah, see, so it's more not as straightforward as we thought.
No,
at
it's
first.
not. Yeah.
Once it went deeper.
It wasn't just a ballad. It was a little bit of like a comic strip, like trying to, turn the
Yeah.
page and see what comes next.
The part that interested me or made my gears start turning was when she said, she's talking about the girl being in LA, but then she said she won't lose herself. And
Like I did.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, that made me start to think like, is this like a version of her that she's created that like did things a little better than she did?
Or, like
or
when,
handled things better than she did.
or like having two young girls that are best friends, and they'll call each other and say what it's like. And she'll say, well, I'm not like, I would never do that. I would, if someone falls for me, they're going to know it. And
The next one's called I Can See You. Also, no feature on this. Sounds like Weezer.
or the Killers.
Yeah, or the Killers.
You brush past me in the hallway and you don't think I can see it through you.
Oh, this is a different
It's a
song.
little twangy, yeah.
Watching you for ages and I spend my time trying not to feel it. But what would you do if I went to touch you now? What would you do if they never found us out? 'Cause I can see you waiting down the hall from me, and I can see you up against the wall with me. And what would you do, baby, if you only knew that I can see you? They keep watchful eyes on us, so it's best that we move fast and keep quiet. You won't believe half the things I see inside my head.
Yeah, a little dangerous, a little risque.
Wait till
Yeah.
you see half the
I haven't really heard anything like this from her,
I don't think so, right?
Well, no,
Not from what we've
not from what we've heard. No.
What would you do if I went to touch you now? What would you do if they never found us
Little-
out? What would
little
you
bad girl
do
type
Yeah,
if
I'm
they
surprised.
never made us? 'Cause I can see you waiting down the hall from me.
But her voice is still so pure, right? It's just,
See you, got your jacket on the floor. Pass me a note saying meet me tonight. Then we kiss and you know
Better than
I won't
Superman.
ever say
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I could see you.
whose idea was it to leave this out or something?
It's a hit.
Girl,
Damn.
that's like, okay, so that's like Lust Taylor, right? Like,
That's
I'm going to
crazy.
grab you, put you up against the wall.
That was a banger.
Yeah.
Damn.
A whole different side of her there.
Well, yeah, I haven't heard a Taylor track like that.
No, I loved it.
Instrumentally, it was fucking
Yeah,
kick ass
it
too.
was, it was right.
So much movement and changes and
yeah.
layering and different instruments coming in and out,
nice,
grooves.
nice and funky, and just captured like this bad girl image.
Oh,
of,
yeah. And her voice got really
Yeah, just really
at some points.
And then when it's not, and it goes, what would we
Pops
do?
out, yeah.
I mean, it's like it
So
almost feels like
smooth.
you're watching a movie star of the music
yeah.
world. You know,
Yeah.
like you know how like you have your favorite actress or actor, and you feel like, man, unless the movie's a total flop,
Well, there's some
I'm
people
gonna
that are just.
enjoy watching their.
It's like Tom Cruise.
Right.
It's like
right.
if he's on the screen,
Right. Unless the movie's a complete flop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy it. I feel like that's what she brings to the table is that
but then when the song's really good,
right. It's captivating.
yeah. The next one is probably the one I've been eyeballing the most since we're about to start this
Because of
album.
the title or something?
Because of the feature. It's called
Oh.
Castles Crumbling, and it's featuring Haley Williams,
Haley Williams.
who's one of the most incredible voices in music. She's the lead singer of Paramore.
Oh, I like Paramore.
Yeah. So
They just played the Garden.
yeah, very powerful voice though. So
Yeah. Right.
I'm interested to see
As a lead singer, right? She doesn't-
interested to see how her and Taylor would
Yeah, switch off.
combine onto one track. So it's called Castles Crumbling.
The guitar is fading
Yeah.
as it goes on.
Crumbling.
Once I had An empire in a golden age. I was held up so high. I used to be great. Like my castles crumbling down, and I watch all my bridges burn to the ground. And you don't want to know me, I will just let you down. You don't wanna know me now. The faith was strong, but I pushed it too far. I held that grudge till it tore me apart. Power went to my head and I couldn't stop. I will just let you down. You don't wanna know me now. People look at me like I'm a monster. Now they're screaming that the palace front gates used to chant my name. Now they're screaming that they hate me.
Very production heavy.
Yeah. The voices are like,
Very ethereal.
yeah. I could picture like, it feels like
a very medieval.
yeah.
Queen.
Feels like you're in like a castle
A
and the voices
tower.
are just,
Yeah.
the voices are like floating through the hall.
Yeah.
It was a cool track.
Yeah, I mean, again, I keep picturing almost like a Disney, like Mulan or something like that. Where,
Yeah.
I mean, she could do well with something like that because
Oh yeah.
it just gave the impression of medieval times, drawbridges, castles, dragons. Game of Thrones, anything like that could have. Yeah, it on its own, it doesn't. It doesn't jump out at me
Yeah.
for anything.
Interesting subject matter though.
And
I
not-
wonder if
Yeah, and not right. It could have been like,
I don't know if that was her imagining what would happen if like her fans turned against her or started to hate her, or if that's like an insecurity that she had of like people turning their back on
I'm not
her.
even going that deep on this one. I think this is just maybe what would it be like if someone asked me to write a theme for a movie or a HBO?
Really?
show. Yeah, I didn't.
I disagree. The whole thing, whole entire thing, it's just them talking about people like admiring them and then not admiring them. It sounded like I don't know,
Okay.
like a canceling song. Like what would happen if I got canceled?
Oh, okay.
That's at least, unless I'm misreading it, but that's what it sounded like to me.
And Wendy, I mean, she didn't get a real. There was no real standout of her part in the song.
Haley Williams?
Yeah.
No, she had the small part and she had some of the
The
backing
background,
hums.
yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing, maybe if we looked at the lyrics written, it's pretty much, the whole thing seems to be about like what would happen if she lost her fans, or if her fans turned against her, or if the people that she loved turned against her. This track is called Foolish One.
Chances are tonight you've already got plans, and chances are I will talk myself to sleep again. You give me just enough attention to keep my hopes too high. Wishful thoughts forget to mention when something's really not right. Foolish one, stop checking your mailbox for confessions of love that ain't never gonna come. You will take the long way, you will take the long way down. You know how to keep me waiting, I know how to act like I'm fine. Now I'm sliding down the wall with my head in my hands, saying,
Wow, yeah, the
how
vocals.
did I not see the signs? Oh, you haven't written me or called, but goodbye screaming in the silence, and the voices in my head are telling me why. You should have been walking out.
I hear what you're saying. This one definitely feels like she's working it out.
Yeah.
Just keep singing it over and over, but am I going to do it in the low range? Am I going to do it?
Just wasn't the one.
Even the la la la's are like, what do I, la la la.
Yeah, it feels very like demo.
Like working through it.
Yeah.
The creation of a.
Which again, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
it's a
unreleased track. It's not this is not
a
studio album track. So
right. There wasn't much to break down or decipher.
You're right. It's like she probably had that melody or that
It
hook
really felt like that.
and was like,
Especially because I kept hearing,
it was stretching.
The only thing about that song was her voice.
Yeah.
How it kept up and then down and then mid and then low.
Yeah.
Which she does very well anyway, but it sounded like she was working through that all.
Yeah,
it sounded like to just keep using "Foolish One" in Mailbox. That was said so many times.
Yeah. Which for me, just as a track, as a track in itself, I felt like if that was like a minute or two shorter, I probably would have liked it better. I think it like towards the end.
It didn't click for me until she started going la la la, and then had the lower range.
Because then you start to realize.
Then I felt like
going
okay,
on.
now I would listen to it again, like almost
expecting that.
Yeah, how know the creation of watching the birth of a song is really fascinating, and then when it clicks and you say, oh, that's the one I'm gonna record.
So this is the last vault track, and the last track it's called Timeless.
Down the block there's an antique shop, and something in my head said stop, so I walked in. On the counter was a cardboard box, and the sign said photos 25 cents each. Black and white, saw a 30s bride and two lovers laughing on the porch of their first house. The kind of love that you only find once in a lifetime. And somehow I know that you and I would have found each other in another life. You still would have turned my head, even if we'd met on a crowded street in 1944, and you were headed off to fight in the war. You still would have been mine. We would have been timeless. I had to smile when it caught my eye. There was one of a teenage couple in the driveway, holding hands on the way to a dance, and the date on the back said 1958, which brought me back to the first time I saw you. Time stood still like something in this old shop. I thought about it as I started looking round at these precious things that time forgot. It's in the 1500s off in a foreign land, and I was forced to marry another man. You still would have been mine. We would have been timeless.
It's cool she went further back in
I would have read
time.
your love letters every single night and run away and left it all behind. You still would have been mine. We would have been timeless. Don't you let it touch your soul. It was like an age-old classic. The first time that you saw me, the story started when you said hello. You still would have been mine. You would have been. Down the block there's an antique shop, and something in my head said stop, so I walked in.
How did that not make the album?
Man.
I mean, I know you got to make choices to cut things, but boy, oh boy.
It's just what we were saying with whatever the other one was, the songwriting, the storytelling is like, God, it just pulls you in from the second it starts.
Her thing. It's really her thing.
It's like it's just movies. It's like,
yeah, right. You know how
Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
people say like Woody Guthrie and Bruce Springsteen, like they're the American songwriters, like they know how to craft a tale or a ballad. She's
a machine.
She's right up there.
She's a machine. That's what I was thinking the whole time in that song. Like, how does she have just the amount of tracks that are such high quality and so, so captivating, so well written. Like,
And just even that thought process. I mean, I
cool concept for a song too.
mom and I have experienced sometimes, because having our parents, your grandparents, and their grandparents still alive while we were young, before the moon walking and all that.
Yeah.
You'd look at these pictures of, men going to the baseball game in shirts and ties, hats. And me and mom have shared many times that we feel we'd have been okay in that generation. Like, I wouldn't mind, going to dances, formal dances, and or just going to places where you guys would be on one side, girls would be, that kind of thing, and
Yeah.
or just making sure you had the nicest shoes when you went out. Somewhere along the line we got super casual in life, and there's not even taking a flight used to be a big deal. Like, people would get dressed up for it to go on an airplane. You're flying in the sky. It wasn't just like taking a bus.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times I feel like me and mom have watched old movies, and you watch that kind of stuff, and just even the way they, would speak to each other. And you fantasize like, man, if I hadn't been born now and I was born then, I think I would have been,
Fit in more.
yeah, I would have fit in more. I wouldn't have, you don't necessarily look at those things and see how, there was more interaction.
Right.
Whether it's, the Christmas, what's the one where he wishes a wonderful life, right? Where he wonders what his life would be if he hadn't been born.
Yep.
And just, walking into a bar or saloon, and just with the music and the old cars, and there's just something intriguing about but then like you said, she went back to the 1500s, like, again, castles,
she kept
Renaissance,
dropping it back.
Yeah, if you were a knight and I was a princess, I'd still,
It's a very, very cool, conceptual song.
or just even, and then going to the end and saying, yeah, we'd have gray hair now, and just that.
Her mind is just. That's what I was thinking. Like, she's just a machine. Like, she's just
If
pumped
it
out.
wasn't music, you could see her being like a writer of books,
100%.
or movies, or
It all starts with the writing, So yeah, I would say overall, the second half wasn't as crazy about as the first half. I mean, there's still some great tracks on here.
I'd
the
say,
second half.
yeah. Go ahead. I'm not gonna.
I'm just like, there's definitely a handful that I really enjoyed. That one we just listened to was great. I Can See You, that like more raunchy banger, that was great.
The Kiss one.
Yeah. But I'd say overall, there was a lot more from the first half, which I guess makes sense because that's like the core of the album, like the original album.
I would think
These were
so.
more, a lot of leftovers.
While I know everyone was saying, I mean, obviously you got to finish the album. You can't stop halfway.
Yeah.
But it seems as though the biggest mystery, at least to us, was, the whole personification and how much personalization went into the Dear John, and those songs of that, like, where it was totally personal, where we didn't know. And these still are, but they're less specific, right? So yes, it's heartbreak. Yes, it's imagining a young couple and then thinking they're an old couple, but if they're, no matter what, they'd still fit in whatever time period they had met. It would have been a success. It's just another, taking some steps back to the early part of her journey was cool. I would say
she's a generational artist.
Yeah, and and there were people saying they're my age, and just got into her through their kids, or kids that are just getting into her now from their siblings. It's that's unique. Yeah, that's very unique to touch all those levels. Yeah, and have it be quality,
and from all over the place, like we saw in our premiere. How she has fans literally everywhere, all over the world.
Where you might even not know the words.
Yeah.
But you know, who
You
knows?
just know
Does she translate? And some artists release songs in
who knows
other languages.
But it's just amazing.
Yeah, it really is something else.
So thank you guys so much for all the support. Thanks to all the new people who have found our channel. Feel free to check out any of our other videos. We post a new video every week. Consider subscribing and liking if you like the video. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next week with a new album and new video. Peace.